All right, I think we have just launched this episode. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Word Miles. This is the last episode of season 3. I'm Deborah Chatrin and I'm the creator of this program. Well, what is Word Miles? Word Miles is actually a program that I created to provide a platform for beginner writers to showcase their masterpieces and to share their stories. Stories. And I know that the millennials, they always have stories to tell. Well, in this episode, I have a lot storytellers that I invite. Well, there are 7 of them, and I hope you enjoy this program and please keep watching the show until the end. So without further ado, let's invite all the storytellers in. Okay, okay. I saw Risma here. Rima, I mean. And then Jessica is here. Natasha, Desti, and who else? Oh, we have Lista here. Okay, I think we still have more storytellers. Oh, we have Kathleen here. Okay, hi everyone. My dear storytellers, thank you so much for taking your time to take part in the show. And I would like you to introduce yourself to our viewers. We have some viewers watching the show. So I would like you to introduce yourself so that your viewers will know you closer. Okay, anyone would like to start first?
Yes, I would like to start first. So, hello everyone. My name is Natasha Jenny, and my nickname is Chacha. My family and my friends gave that nickname to me, and actually, I kind of like that nickname. Also, I am a 21-year-old girl, and some of the things that I like to do are singing and reading books. Thank you.
Okay, hello there. I'm Desti Laura Bersembiring. I'm junior and I'm from Medan. Actually, uh, I'm studying and also working at the same time in the campus ministry department in Universitas Advent Indonesia. And also, I'm active in leadership organization, and and also join singing choir. And I'm so happy to be invited in this program. Thank you.
Well, hello friends and also hello name. I hope all is well. Allow me to make and introduce who I am. My full name's Ayu Grace Octavia Sinaga. People or my friends usually call me Ayu. I came from Sibolga, but now I'm stay at Unai. That means I stay at dormitory in Universitas Advent Indonesia. I love reading books, especially fiction books or fiction novel. And also I love listening music and watching drama. Actually, I was not very active in organization, but I was once a staff member of student association a few semesters ago. I think that's all that I can tell about me. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Kathleen Melissa Natalie Sumorang. I'm 21 years old and you can call me Lynn. So I like to sing and love to talk with one another. And I'm so love to read the novel from the other. Thank you.
Hi folks, I'm Rimanuela Kalandanu, but you can call me Rima as long as you comfort with. Fact about me is I like to sit in closet to find inspiration And I also love to listen to music, especially Taylor Swift songs, while I do my assignments. And yes, I'm a Swiftie for a long time.
Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Semanung Khalid. My friends usually call me Jess or JJ. I'm a junior at Universitas Advent Indonesia, and I live in Lampung, one of the city in Indonesia. And also I'm the member of Antising Cantika. That's the one of the choir organization in my campus. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Lisda Viagri Situmeang. You can call me Lisda, and I'm 20 years old, and now I come from Lampung, and now I am junior student in UNAI, and actually I like singing, but because my voice doesn't support
The storytellers, once again, I'm so thrilled to have you here. Well, the topic that we would like to carry out in this episode is the confidence to pursue writing. Now, the question is, why writing with confidence really matters? Now, I would like to share something personally. I'm a person who doesn't want to share my writing to others because I feel like because I didn't have in the past, I did have the confidence to share my writing. I'm afraid of my friends' judgment. But I realized actually when we share our writing, it can inspire others. So that's the reason why we come up with this theme, the confidence to pursue writing. And I would like all the storytellers, all these young people, they have the confidence on what they want to share to others, because we never know that what they share may inspire other people. So today we are going to have a discussion, a very in-depth discussion with our storytellers. And we are going to find out their secrets on how to build confidence to pursue writing. Okay, are you ready? All the storytellers? Okay, let's have a discussion. My first questions, and I would like you to give your elaborative answers. The first question, I know you've taken creative writing course. Now, my question is, how do you build your confidence in writing?
Okay, I would like to answer that question. So how I build my confidence is, it is also the same way how I improve my writing skills. So I am not ashamed to say that I am a book lover, and I have read so many books. I have read novels, comics, and so on. And how I improve is, of course, to read. And since I have read a lot of books, I learn about their style in writing. I learn about the words that they choose, and I try to construct what I've learned from others, from the professionals, to put it on my writings. And once I have construct all of the knowledge that I have into my writing, then I am able to actually publish it. And since I have learned from the best, the professional, I think it improved my confidence in writing, because I know that the professionals are out there publishing their books, and I have to copy their style of learning, their learning in writing, and I have to construct and create my own story, and I am pretty confident about that.
Okay, first of all, thank you for the question. Honestly, when we talk about writing, actually I like it because from writing we can make a story. I like to write. I also like to write a diary, but I write it in Indonesian. At least my writing skills can improve, right? From this, apart from writing in diary, I improve my writing skills by reading some novels, and actually I always read the the story from Wattpad. And reading is one of the references in writing. And through reading, I can get ideas that didn't even cross my mind. And I think it can improve my skills. That's all for me. Thank you.
Well, let me also answer the question from ma'am. How I'm confident with my writing skills. It seems like my friends say, Natasha, it seems like how to improve the writing skills. Actually, I improve my writing skills about the creative writing subject. I'm often reading, and reading some more books. I'm also really love or read Wattpad. What I can say, I'm a Wattpaders, because when I read books, when I read novels, I learn how the author or other people write to deliver their messages in the most effective way possible. When I read, I began to adjust my own writing style to those that resonate with the most. Reading, because why I like reading novels, because when I read that I have said just now, I get a lot of ideas for writing from the books or from the novels. In other words, how confident and how I improve my writing skill, just reading more books, and I think just I reading book. Thank you.
Oh, well, previously I often read stories like still the same with my friends, like novels. And well, of course, we can see how they are write the way they write a story. So from there, I have a desire and interest to write stories. So I've been through a lot in my childhood and until I was growing up. So the story that I made is related to my personal life. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I'm not good at writing, especially writing stories, because I don't really like writing too. But how to build my confidence is I improve my writing skills first. And I try to improve my writing skills because I want to be better at writing and improve myself by watching some children's stories, reading some children's stories also, and practice how to write stories. And since I took, since I take creative writing also, it helps me a lot in improving my writing skills, and I start to like it.
Well, honestly, I'm not a book lovers, but how I built my confidence in writing is I search and find out many sources such as reading a books, and since I have learned on how to write the story well by the subject, creative writing subject, I applicate the knowledge that I have learned in that subject, and I try to make a story.
Okay. I improve my writing skills by reading a lot of story for inspiration, and also watching because honestly, I'm very difficult to choose word from the beginning of the story. So I need inspiration to increase my vocabulary.
All right, thank you for your answers. Well, most of your answers stated that you love reading. You improve your skills through reading. Most of you answered this. But I think some of you, writing is not your cup of tea. Well, let me tell you something. When we develop a skill, there's a sense of achievement. It makes us important. When we have the skill, it makes us confident. Well, now it leads to the next question. You have written something, you have made your masterpieces, which is novella, ebook, and also DST, digital storytelling. Now, my question is, you are actually developing a skill of writing. Even though you don't like it, but you just try to develop a skill of writing, you've created a masterpiece. Now, my question, how confident are you with what you've created?
All right, talking about confidence. Well, I must say that I am not that confident with my writing because, I'm still an amateur, I'm still a beginner, I'm still learning, trying to develop my writing skills. And this is the first time that I get to write my story and to actually publish it. But I think I must say that as an amateur, I think I did pretty great too. So I think, yeah, I'm not that confident, but I believe I did good too. Thank you.
Okay. Talking about confidence also, I think I'm the type of person that not confident for everything, but in this show, I'm very confident for my writing. I write because I prepare all, and I write my masterpiece with an interesting theme. I'm sure my writing will be interesting for you, for all of our viewers, especially for children. Um, they will love it, I guess. And I created my masterpiece creatively uh, with nice image and added a sound that is different than other. Thank you.
Okay. How confident if someone acts like that, uh, especially in this about my about the masterpiece that I make. Actually, I'm not confident, but I should confident. Why? Uh, because after all, I have to be certain when I do something, right? Uh, uh, and also, as I'm a student, I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes in writing. I mean, it's like is grammar mistakes like this in my writing my masterpiece. When I make a mistake, I will I including myself. I will ask someone who is more skilled to assist to correct my errors about writing and what and so on. That's what I do when I'm writing a story and I'm not sure what I'm doing. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm not confident too, like my friends, but I'm confident when I write the stories because there is an interesting story in it. So from the story of someone who is high, how someone who has a good personality and interesting love story all makes the reader understand the sincerity of love. So I must be confident with my story when I write.
From me, I'm not confident before I learned how to write my stories. But today, I'm confident enough and excited also, especially with my masterpieces that I will show you later. And because it's my first experience creating my own stories and making to ebook, video, and so on. Also, it's the first time I show to others my masterpieces, and I know it's not easy to create masterpieces like this, and that's why I'm confident and excited.
Well, actually, I'm the kind of person that not confident on myself, like my friends said before, and I'm not confident to show what I have done with to share with my friends, even my parents too. And let's say I'm still a amateur, like Natasha said before, and but for these masterpieces, I really confident on myself because I did it by myself, and mostly my masterpieces is based on my own life story and my ideas. Thank you.
Okay, well, honestly, I am confident in my writing because indeed everything I write is the result of my true story in the past and also the result of my own composition, especially in my novel. That's my story when I was in college, but I did a little so to sweeten it so that those who read it don't get bored, because one of the difficult and also make us less confident is when we write story but make people bored to read them. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You know what? I sense doubts here. Most of you stated that you are not confident enough with your writing. Well, my dear storytellers, I would like you to keep on writing, to keep on improving your skills, because once you improve your skills, you have built your confidence. So now I cannot wait. I would like to see your masterpieces. I would like you to share your masterpieces. So to all viewers, let's take a look at their masterpieces. Please share to us what you have created.
Okay, so I have created in total 3 masterpieces, and I'm going to show you my masterpieces. Please wait for a while. All right, the first one is the children's story. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
The title is Old Dream and New Dream. So I'm gonna give you a brief summary about the storyline of my story. It's about a young boy. He was an athlete. He's doing pretty great in sports. He can do football, swimming, golfing, badminton, and one of his best sports is basketball. And he is actually the team leader in his basketball team, and they play many competitions too. Until one day, this boy named Kaisen, he practiced basketball with his friends in the school backyard, but it was raining a little bit and the floor was slippery. So he accidentally fell and ripped his ligament. And then this boy was directly brought to the hospital. But unfortunately, uh, the the doctor said that he will not be able to do sports anymore because it will only make his condition worse. And just like any other boy, he was so depressed hearing that news of him, and he lied and cried on his bed all day, didn't want to do anything, and his family is very worried about him. Well, thankfully, Kaisen's father is a musician, and the father decided to teach Kaisen to do music instead. At first, Kaisen is very anxious because he cannot do any music, but his father and his mother encouraged him and taught him how to play piano. And in only about 3 months, Kaisen has already mastered in piano and also singing. And a good news came when Kaisen said that he was invited to join a competition. And at first, he was very anxious because he never played in front of audience. But his family again, his mom and dad encouraged him to do best. And it turns out that he plays really well. And when the MC announces the result, Kaisen actually is the winner. So that is about my ebook. And now I'm going to show you about my DSD. All right.
The Wanted One. Rose, a flower fairy, is very lazy. She never studies and she never helps others. She is a couch potato. One day, she looked at Jasmine Fairy helping a rabbit with her magic wand. Jasmine was a helpful fairy. She was also as bright as the sun. I'm so envious of Jasmine's magic wand. I want to have one too. If I have a magic wand, then I don't need to study anymore. I also don't need to clean my room anymore. Rose was as happy as Clam, imagining if the wand was hers and she would be able to do everything she desires. The next day, Rose decided to silently go to Jasmine's room when she's gone. I want to steal that magic wand right now. Where is it? She saw the magic wand on the sofa and took it. Okay, I have the wand. Now how to use this? Abracadabra. Hocus pocus. Rose tried to use the wand, but she failed. She tried once again. Hey broom, clean the floor right now. Instead of cleaning the room, the broom flew to her and hit her. Ouch! That's painful! Stop it! She cried loudly. She was hurt. Then suddenly Jasmine entered the room and caught her. Hey Rose, what are you doing in my room? I'm sorry, Jasmine. I planned to steal your magic wand, but it didn't want to follow my instruction. Jasmine giggled as she heard Rose's confession. Haha, of course, Rose, this magic wand can only be used for helping each other, not for our sake. I see. I'm sorry, Jasmine. I will never do that again. Rose felt guilty, and she promised to study hard and be the legend after this. The end.
Right, that is about my digital storytelling. So basically, it tells about two fairies, where one has a lucky wand, and she can help others using that wand. But the other one, who didn't have the wand, is consumed by jealousy and tried to steal it. But eventually, she was caught by the other fairy and promised not to do that again. And last, I have my novella here. So the title is I'm Coming Home, and it tells a story about a young girl around her 20. So she is struggling with so many things in her life, as you can see here, and her behavior changed, and her family noticed that and tried to talk to her, but she didn't want to say anything about her, and she feels like she is alone facing her struggle. Nobody ever really understands about her, and she feels like her friends forget about her, her family didn't support her, but that is all just because she was blinded by the sadness, she was tired, and she was blinded by her anger. And she failed to realize that her family and her friends was there all along to help her, to motivate her, give her motivations, and to just be there for her until one point where she meets someone who actually understand how she feels. And that is when this young girl finally tried to appreciate all the little things that has been happening to her, and to enjoy every moment of her, and to be grateful for everyone and everything that happened to her. And of course, there will be a conflict in the story and the solutions on how this girl survived her life, especially in her teenage age. And if you wanted to know more about the story, you can come to my Wattpad and you can go to Natasha Jenny and maybe subscribe and just wait for my other stories to be published. So that is about my masterpieces that I hope you can enjoy it, and uh, to enjoy reading it and maybe inspire you to make your own story. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Natasha, and it's my turn. Wait for a second. I would like to share my ebook. Can you see my screen? Okay, the title of my ebook, the masterpieces that I would like to present is Isn't It Enough? Okay, in this story, it tells of a lawyer boy. It tells that the moon is being so arrogant and jealous of the sun, who is cooler than him, and the sun is always admired by people, and the sun has many benefits for people in this story. And in short, sun is very useful in humans, but in the end of there was something that made the moon realize that two was valuable. Why I choose this theme is because beside these themes is very interesting for me especially, and also for you, I think, and for the children. And the children can also get the benefit of sunlight, and beside being able to hum, to grasp the skills in reading, speaking, child also gain knowledge. And now I would like to share my second masterpiece. The Stupid Liar. Ro is a child who is very chalky and likes to lie.
He always admits to his friends that he is capable of doing extraordinary things. But every time his friend told him to do that, he always refused and looked for reasons to avoid it. One fine morning, Michael was talking with two of his friends, Caramel and Andrew, in the park. Michael began to tell him how much fun it was to ride Uncle Crosby's bull. "You know, yesterday I rode Uncle Crosby's bull," Michael said with a chalky face and puffed up his chest. "Really? Aren't you scared?" Andrew asked with a doubtful look. "Of course not. The bull is one of the most docile, sweet, and kind animals," he answered in a proud tone. Caramel and Andrew looked at each other. Since Caramel didn't believe it, she asked again. "Are you sure?" "Sure, you don't believe it," Michael said, pointing at Caramel. Caramel shook her head. "You?" he said again, pointing at Andrew. Andrew shook her head. "If what you say is true, will you show us how you ride the bull?" asked Andrew. Michael was speechless and thought of a reason not to do that. Sure, he must be embarrassed when he can't do Andrew's one. "Oh my goodness, maybe next time. I have some business to do. It turns out that I forgot to feed my chickens earlier," he said evasively. "It's okay, you really can't," said Caramel, laughing. It's not like that. I have to go home now, bye," Michael replied. He quickly left Caramel and Andrew. Michael's nature to lie is already very well known. All his friends knew that, but they were silent. They hoped Michael would learn a lesson one day. One day, Aunt Lily had a fever and her body became very hot. Apparently, she was bitten by a bee in the morning. Then Michael and his friends gathered at Aunt Lily's house. They tried to kill her, but her body was still hot. "I've been bitten by a bee before, and I can recover from eating beehives," sighed Michael. Everyone who heard Michael's words looked at each other because they knew that it was definitely impossible. "Whew, I was lying," muttered Axel, who was tired of hearing Michael's boasting. Michael and several other friends went home together. Suddenly, "Ow!" Michael shouted. Apparently, he was stung by a bee. His hands were swollen and he was crying loudly. Then Axel was looking for a beehive for Michael. "Here, eat this beehive." Axel gave the beehive he got to Michael. "Yes, Michael, didn't you say that the cure for bee stings is to eat the hive?" Caramel chuckled. At first, Michael refused, but his friends kept pushing him. Finally, like it or not, Michael had to eat it. However, it turns out that in the beehive, there is still a bee hoping to fly out. As the result, the bee immediately stung Michael's lips. Michael screamed in pain and cried loudly. Her lips became swollen. If he hadn't broke it, then none of this would have happened. Because of this incident, Michael also felt very embarrassed.
Well, as you can see, this story tells of a liar boy named Michael who always claims to do the extraordinary things, and actually his friends already know that he is liar, but his friends just are just silent, and they hope Michael would get something else coming. And finally, the moment came when his hands and lips were stung by a bee. It was a lesson he had learned from lying, often lying. Why I choose this theme, because this theme is very interesting, and my main focus to make this masterpiece based on digital storytelling with this theme is children. Hopefully, the children who watch this masterpiece and listen this masterpiece may get an understanding that envy is not good and will only harm themselves, and not much different from the previous masterpiece that I share. Besides, they can learn English skills from this masterpiece that I make. They also get advice that will useful for them. And now I would like to share the last masterpiece that I make is this. I write this. The title of my novella is Game Over Before Start. And for your information, this is my real story. This story is about a cheerful girl named Della and a man named Rafa enters her life when she recently broken up with his ex-boyfriend, namely Rain Falcons. And the man treated her well as someone who would be said to be more than friends. But suddenly the relationship has been ended. The relationship that been built for almost a year had to be ended for a reason that, according to Della, was not clear. And they ended the relationship by taking nicely, but Della felt hurt, and the relationship wasn't actually done well, according to Della. But suddenly Della see Rafa was back with his ex girlfriend, and it made Della even more hurt. She cried and she prayed for them, and she prayed the best for them. Finally, Della was healed, her attached and excited by her best friend named Kaina, and other friends. And in the end of this story, Della no longer has any feelings with that bad man, and he focuses more on herself, builds her character, and studies well. For information, I choose this theme because I think it is usually theme It's general time, I mean, among teenagers. So it must be interesting. And after all this is real my story, I don't need to imagine anymore for interesting idea. Thank you and God bless you.
Oh, well, let me share screen. I will show to you the masterpiece that I have created. Can you see my screen? Oh, well. All right. Right now, I'm going to show you the three masterpieces that I have created. The first is the ebook children's story. The title is Chill Out Jack. So we can see here. This story tells about a child who gets angry easily. One day when he came from the school, Jack went to play football with his friend Arthur. But while playing, Arthur kicked the ball very hard to Jack and accidentally hit Jack's head. It causing make Jack angry and hit or it make Jake mad at Arthur. It happened because Jack fixed his shoelaces and Arthur didn't notice if it and had already kicked the ball strongly. Jack, who was in pain, began to get angry and also cried and shouted to Arthur, which frightened him. Then the teacher saw that and calmed Jack down by taking a deep breath after his anger slowly dissipates. His teacher asked Jack and Arthur to come to terms or with shaking hands with each other. Why I choose the theme, this theme, because I want to as the children that read my books, it will help them to manage their anger. Well, okay. The next masterpiece that I create is digital storytelling. The title is My Lovely Uncle. I will show to you.
Gracie was terribly excited. She and her uncle were spending the day together, just two of them. Gracie wondered what uncle had planned. Maybe they would cross the rushing river or climb the mountain in forest. I thought we'd gather some peanuts for supper, Uncle said. Remember, eating nuts is a special treat. It makes long and great tail. Yes, Uncle, said Gracie, her heart sinking. Uncle and Gracie got straight to work. A little while later, Gracie wanted a nice cool drink. Don't dawdle, said Uncle. I want, Uncle, replied Gracie, and off she went. While Gracie had some water, she saw ducks were swimming in the river. She wished she could join them, but Gracie knew that Uncle was waiting. She hadn't hoped very far when she saw the butterflies playing. That sure seemed like fun. Then Gracie remembered her uncle hard at work. After a few more hops, Gracie saw her friend the bunny. Want to climb this tree with me? The bunny asked. Okay, Gracie said, forgetting about her uncle. With a little boost from her friend, Gracie was soon exploring the tree. The two peered into a bird's nest. Chirp, chirp! They got close, but not too close, to a buzzing beehive. Well, it's time for me to go, the bunny said after a while. My father is waiting for me. Oh, Gracie remembered her uncle. Gracie looked down. She was so far away and she didn't know where she was now. Gracie sighed. Only one person can help me, she said. Who? Asked the owl. My uncle, said Gracie sadly. I've been looking for you everywhere, said a voice from a distance. Uncle? Gracie asked hopefully. Yes, Gracie, it's me, Uncle replied. Now take a deep breath and look at me. Gracie opened her eyes. Now you are with Uncle and don't be afraid anymore. That evening, the squirrels ate peanuts. Everyone agreed they were all so tasty. Did you have lots of adventures? Tessie asked her. Why, yes, boasted Gracie. I even climbed a tree. Oh my, said Daisy. Were you scared? What a silly question, Uncle scoffed. Gracie is never scared. Gracie looked at her uncle, who gave him a big wink. Gracie grinned. She was glad she'd gotten to spend the day with her uncle. And
Sorry. As we have watched together just now, the story tells about the little squirrels and her uncle. By the time they go to explore the forest, the little squirrel, or Gracie, separates from her uncle because she doesn't obey to her uncle. But at the end, they meet. But at the end, they meet again, and her uncle calms Gracie down, and they go home together. Gracie says that she won't forget a very pleasant day for her. Okay, the last of masterpieces that I create is a novella. The title is Serendipity from Above. Actually, this story I made is based on the story of my life or my life journey, the time I was born in the present. In accordance with the title, serendipity means is a fortune or luck. And from this story, I want to convey to all readers to good fortune that happened in my life. I was a child who was born prematurely in a hospital. And do you know, guys, that I was in my mother's womb, or in bahasa like kandungan, it meant for only 7 months. As we know, a normal child is usually conceived by his mother for 9 or 10 months. While I different from others, I'm different from you, I'm different from other children. Since I was born, luck has come my way. I mean, the fortune has come to my life. From the story, my mother have told to me, I was a baby who almost lost my life at birth because it was not yet my time to be born. Doctors have said that I cannot be safe anymore. And you know what's going on when the doctor said like that. Suddenly I prayed back and finally let out a cry. And until now, I have 22 years old. Even that the fortune or the luck is still very much accepted. I can go to school right now. I can talk at this moment. It's all an incredible amount of luck, of fortune that I got from above. It means from above, all mean is God. I think, that's all about the masterpieces that I have created. I hope you can enjoy it and inspire you. I hope you can enjoy to watching or read the three masterpieces that I have created. Thank you.
Okay, now it's my turn. I will share my masterpiece from my ebook. The title of my ebook is Princess Audrey, who is before his parents died, his father told his uncle that his mission would be led by Princess Audrey. When she grew up and was 20 years old, she went to realize what his father and ordered her to do. And this story, Princess who is she leads a kingdom where her parents asked her to lead this kingdom. But there is one woman who doesn't like her, whose name is Molly. She also really wants to be a beautiful queen like Audrey. But Princess Molly have some. She want to make some mistake for Audrey, and As we know that Princess Audrey is a prince who humble queen, and she's never arrogant toward others. She's always make some beautiful day for each other that the women in there, and Audrey always Audrey always forgive Molly when Molly have doing something wrong for her. I think that's the number one about my story. For the second masterpiece, I will share to you about my DST. Wait a moment. Shy Kathleen. It was a sunny morning, the day Kathleen went to school. When the students come to class, the teacher said, "Today there is an assignment for you, so you will tell the story in front of the class. You can tell whatever you like or things that interest you." When the students prepare their stories in 30 minutes, Teacher Maria said, "Kids, you may write it down first before you will appear in front." 30 minutes pass. Each student gets a turn to tell a story up front until it's time for the shy girl Kathleen to tell the story. Kathleen pretended not to hear her teacher calling Kathleen until the teacher called her 3 times because Kathleen did not move from her seat. It was only after the fourth call that Kathleen slowly stepped forward while looking down, and Teacher Maria said, "Now it's your turn, Kathleen." When Kathleen walked in front of the class, Kathleen did not immediately tell the story. The teacher and his friends waited for her to tell the story. Kathleen did not say anything. His hands were busy playing with the hem of his shirt. The recess bell rang, and that saved Kathleen from telling a story. We will continue after recess is over. Kathleen, prepare yourself to tell stories in front of the class. Kathleen very relieved. All her classmates played outside, while Christine helped Kathleen, who was still sitting in front of the class. When Kathleen went to the park, Christine came over and said, "Kathleen, are you all right?" Kathleen stuttered because she was so embarrassed. Why are you so afraid to tell story? I don't know what to say. The class will start again, and Kathleen must tell her story. But she was so afraid, and her friends, Christine, said, Kathleen, tell me how you can catch a butterfly. That's your hobby, right? And her friend, a boy, said, come on, Kathleen, try to tell us. And Kathleen said, yes, I could catch a very beautiful butterfly. I saw a butterfly perched on the flower, a yellow butterfly that has beautiful spots on its wings. Then I want to catch it. Then at the time I tried to stay still, walking very slowly, so the butterfly didn't know that I want to catch it. Then I took one tool, namely a fishing net. I took and walked slowly again. Then I slowly lift the net and suddenly I catch the butterfly. Finally, I can catch the beautiful butterfly. After Kathleen finished her story, everyone clapped and felt very happy when listening to Kathleen tell her story. Finally, Kathleen was able to tell her story and overcome her fear. Thank you, Christine. You have helped me to be brave enough to speak in front of the class. Don't think too much about it. I'm also happy to see you can tell stories in front of the class and not be afraid anymore. They walked together lightly. Even Kathleen dared to lift her head and smile. She felt okay. That the second of my masterpiece, where a friend who helped Kathleen to be confident to tell the story in front of the class, and we come up to number the third of my masterpiece. Okay, the title of my masterpiece is "Your Heart Is Not to Me." The story is related for of my life when a couple who have been in a relationship for 3 years but found it because of another woman, where this woman has also taken a taken care of their relationship as well as possible. But when they are in a long distance relationship, this man or Randy chooses another woman over Angel. So the story is very hard, and if you want to know about the story, how that Angel faces for many problem that she faced, and when Randy leave her, she's always be a good girl, and she's believed that uh, Angel will find some men who love her. I think if you want to know about my story, you can search my name, Kathleen Situmorang, and you will find and read this good story, and you will know how big and how love Kathleen to her boyfriend. I think that's all for my masterpiece. I say thank you.
So the title of my ebook is Cookies for a Hero, and the genre is kindness and love. This story talks about a boy who was fancy a dustman in his complex, and the reason why he liked the dustman was the dustman was a hero for him, and he thought that without the dustman, the environment is not clean like now. And then he wanted to talk to the dustman, but he couldn't. And when he tried to talk with him, the dustman didn't answer answer this boy. And then he saw the dustman talk her with his neighbor, and the dustman answered his neighbor. Then he came to his mom and asked about the dustman. And his mom said that the dustman was deaf and he couldn't speak like this boy. So he should speak with sign language. And then he learned sign language. He learned sign language from the internet, and then he asked her mom to help him in making cookies for the dustman. Then he tried to speak to the dustman and gave the cookies to him. And then they became good friends. And next, this is my digital storytelling. The genre is obedient, and the title is The Obedience to the Comfort. And this story tells about a girl who didn't want to obey her mom. Then she got bad things from her disobey. And I got inspiration for this story is from my real life when I was kid. I got toothache because I didn't want to brush my teeth, and I just want to share to my kids' experience and develop it and share it to the other.
The obedience to the comfort. I'm Anna. I call cockroach, flies, and bad smell into my sweet room. Hey, look! There are holes on my teeth also, and it makes my left cheek bigger than the right. Ouch! It hurts me and it's bothering me. I got a horrible time now because of my disobedience. It started when I didn't want to obey my mom. Every morning, she told me to tidy up my room. But I ignored her words. I ate chocolates, candies, and all the sweet things, especially at night. Anna, brush your teeth before you hit the sack. And no, I didn't do it. Hey girl, throw your socks to the basket, she said when I just went back from school. No, I just threw it at every corner of my room. And now I learned my lessons. Cockroach, flies, and bad smell invading in my room. I hold my teeth because I disobeyed. What should I do? Those words filled my mind. I came to my mom and cried. I missed my sweet, clean, and comfort room, my white teeth without cavity. Then I changed all my bad habits. I start to obey my mom. I do what she says, like tidy up my room, put my socks on the basket, brush my teeth, and more. Though I cannot get rid of my cavity, I never have toothache anymore. The insects leave my room independently. The bad smell disappeared too. Now, my charming and fresh room is back.
And this is my last masterpiece. The title of my novella is Canarias. And this story tells about a girl named Nika who missed and needed her parents' attention because her parents were busy with their work. And yes, her parents were workaholics. Nika was a good girl, then she changed because she was disappointed with her parents. Nika met Sela and Nia, then became best friends. They changed Nika into a better person. Nika, Sela, and Nia filled the empty space in their life together. And unfortunately, Mika's parents weren't changed and were still busy with their work. Mika was tired of her parents, then she started ignoring them and became an independent girl. She did everything by herself and she became closer to God also. And that's all about my masterpieces.
Well, now is my turn. I will share my first masterpiece is digital story. I will share. Okay. Digital story. The story is about a little sick puppy that rescued by Kelly and Jackson. Kelly and Jason are neighbors, and they find the little puppy in the garbage dump, and they bring the puppy back home. But first, their parents didn't agree that they want to take care of the puppy, and finally, their parents allowed them to take care of the little puppy, and they give the name of the puppy and its name is Argus. So let's watch it. My 911. Kelly walks around the street after finishing school. She walks with her friend Jason to their home. They are neighbors, so Kelly and Jason usually go home together. That afternoon, when they walk home, they hear something in the garbage dump. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Out of curiosity, they go to the garbage dump to check what that noise is. To their surprise, it is a small little puppy with brown fur is falling off. It big, sick, and crying loudly. Woof, woof, woof. It can only make a small sound, but cannot bark. Out of pity, Kelly and Jason take the puppy and bring the puppy back home. After they go home, Kelly's mom is the first to refuse to take care of the puppy because it looks too sick and might bring some disease. After that, they decided to go to Jason's house to ask for permission to take care of the puppy. Mia, Jason's sister, is very fond of animals and likes to have one, but because it is expensive to buy one, she never had a chance to have one. So, when Jason and Kelly came with the puppy, she was very happy, and they persuade their parents to accept the puppy to be raised at their home. At first, their parents did not agree with the plea. "Mom, Dad, will you allow me to take care of the puppy?" said Mia. "No, dear, what will you do with that puppy? It's very difficult to take care of the puppy," Mia. "But Dad, I want to take care of this puppy. Can I please?" Mia begs. Well, I will allow you to take care of the puppy. But remember, you have to take good care of it. Mia decided to accept it. So, the journey with the puppy started. Mia gave the puppy name Argus. Argus is a very sick puppy and cannot even walk for 1 minute. The family gives their care to Argus. They started to give food, shower him, and even give him medicine in the middle of the night when the puppy got sick. Jason's grandpa built a dog's house so Argus can have a place to sleep. The family placed the dog's house in their garage. There is a problem now after 1 month. The garage is an open space, so in the middle of the night, the temperature is very cold, especially when it is raining. Because Argus is very thin and sick puppy, sometimes he will wail in the middle of the night if it's too cold or wet because of the weather. Ooh, ooh, ooh. One night, the wail is so low that after some consideration, Jason's grandpa started to make another doghouse inside the home. He put it under the stairs from the 2nd floor to the 3rd floor. So, when it is the rainy season, Argus can stay inside. The parents also started to train him to go to other places if he wanted to pee or poop. After a couple of years, Argus grows bigger, stronger, fluffier, and not sick anymore. Kelly will come over time to play with him. One of the activities that Argus loves to do is evening walks and jogging time with the kids. For almost 2 years, Argus has been a part of Kelly's and Jason's families. But Kelly's and Jason's parents have to move because of their work, and in their new place, they cannot bring Argus together with them. Kelly, Jason, and Mia feel so sad. But Jason's dad has a friend who loves puppies and has a lot of them. Therefore, she proposes to let Argus stay with her, and when they have the time, they can visit Argus in her place. Woof, 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 woof. That was the wailing of Argus when they had to separate from him. From time to time, Kelly and Jason always remember how they first met with Argus. From the brink of death, they can see a very healthy and vigorous puppy. They might be separated for now, but they always remember that they have a wonderful friend. Okay, that's my first masterpiece. Now I will share my second masterpiece is the Wattpad. For the Wattpad, I choose that I write the title is The Well Princess. This is based on my own life story. I wrote this for prologue and introduction and chapter 1 up to chapter 10. And for Wattpad, I use my own life story on how I have insecurities about my body shape, and from that I got bullied from elementary school, and until now I'm in the college. And in this story, I am a daughter of pastors. So my father was transferred from one city to another city because of his ministry. And then when I was a kid, I have chubby cheeks and brown skin, and all our congregation looks so excited when they meet me at the church because they can pinch my cheeks and they can kiss my cheeks and so on. But as times goes by, I don't feel happy to have a body like when I was a kid because I got my first bullet from my friend, and that time I was in my grade 6, and my friend is a boy, and there is one time he makes my body shape as a jokes, and my other friends just laugh at me, and after that I always got bullied about my body shape. And why I choose the title is The Whale Princess. I use whale as a symbol in my story because people only knows that mermaid was the beauty of the ocean. They look at it as a symbol of elegance, sexiness, and calmness. But inside the deep ocean lies a dormant and strong power, beauty but unseen, big but insecure, look but never known, pushed away because they only saw her appearance. But once they got closer, they found the beauty of the deep ocean, the whale princess. And in this world where we are living, there's two kind of beauty: a beauty that catches the eye and a beauty that catches the heart. And the most important thing sometimes is the beauty that catches the eye. And many people blinded by this kind of beauty. And because of this kind of beauty, there's a kind of scorn in society where if you look, if you're not look great in the eye, then people will not look upon you and sometimes bullying you. And living in this kind of world, I realized something that even though your beauty gets the heart, sometimes you need to catch the eye also. This is my second masterpiece. And for the last masterpiece, is my ebook. For my ebook, I use my brother's story. For this ebook, I wrote this book based on my brother experience, where I and my brother are the pastor kids. I use our middle name as the character in my story, Melvira and Giovanni. And one day, when we are gathered together with my parents in a living room, there are some people come to our house. They are a husband and wife and two of their children, a boy and a girl. Their son is sightless or blind. He cannot see anything, and his parents put the glasses on his eyes. Then I and my brother won't get to know them, and we make friends with them. After that, while our parents are talking in the living room, my brother playing a music instrumental. In that situation, my brother was playing a mini drum. There's their son named Reza, and so while Giovanni or my brother played the drum, Reza looks so interesting to play that drum, and Giovanni gave the opportunity to Reza to play the drum. And surprisingly, his drumming was so good. Then my mom was shocked who's the person that played the drum. And she asked Reza, does he has a drum or not in his house? Then Reza answered, he doesn't have a mini drum. After that, my mom have initiative to give him a drum that my brother has. But before that, she asked permission to my brother if she can give it or not. Then my brother allowed to give his drum to Reza, so Reza can have the activities even though he's sightless and he's not can go to school like his other friends. I think that's all about my masterpieces. Thank you.
Aduh, Lisda, ya Allah. Okay, now I will show my masterpiece. And this is my ebook. My ebooks that tell about cats. This story tells how about little girl who has a cat that she loves very much. At first, she didn't don't like cats, but because it was gift from his mother, and the cat was also cute, so she loved her very much. But one day, every day, I and Chio like to play together. Yes, Chio is my cat's name. It's a cute cat. That afternoon, Chio jumped from the window. Chio made me anxious. Turned out he's chasing a rat. I used to not like cats, but after my mom gave me a cat on my birthday, I really like it, even though sometimes the fur makes me sneeze. The next morning, after I wake up, I called Chio, but she did come too. I start to get anxious and rushed to find Chio. I searched all over the house and rooms, but Chio is still not there. I'm crying because Chio is missing. And after that, me and my sister are looking for Chio outside the house, but still, Chio is not there. red jacket, went to look for Chiu. From after I saw two cats and I thought one of them was Chiu, but it wasn't. I'm imagining Chiu should be before when she played with me. I'm ready, said to lose Chiu. And next, this is my storytelling. My storytelling tell about and mouse there.
One day, in a forest, there lived a mouse deer and a lion, the king of the jungle. Today, the lion was very hungry. When he awoke, he saw a mouse deer. Then he roared, "Ram!" The deer was shocked. "What are you doing here?" With fear, the mouse deer answered, "Just walking around." "Are you afraid to see me?" No. "Why is your voice stuttering?" "No, I'm just tired." "Good. Thinks he's tired. I can devour him easily. Come here, closer, mate." "Why should I apart you?" "I already consider you as a friend, so I want to play with you." The clever mouse deer already knows what the king of the jungle means. "Sorry, sir, I have to hurry. If you are hungry, come with me, but don't eat me. You said we are friends, so we have to love each other." Even the lion feels guilty for the mouse deer. "I'm sorry, mouse deer." "No problem, come with me." In the end, they become very close friends.
Okay, the story tells about a lion and a mouse there. Where the day the lion was very hungry, and when we was walking, he saw a mouse there, and the lion took to eat the mouse there because of the ingenuity of the button. They finally becomes friend. The next masterpiece. This is the title of Worn Out. And the story is from my true story. Which talk about a woman named Alexa who instantly knew Herbimo on social media, but it turned out that the introduction made Alexa comfortable with her. And at first, Alexa the Bimo also feel it because of his very good attitude toward Alexa. And expectedly, it turned out that I was studying at Unai, and we first met, and Bimo and Alexa first met at Unai. Alexa felt awkward at first, even though on the phone it was normal. So after about 6 months, Alexa got to know him. Bimo finally decided suddenly to be honest. Alexa was hard, and Alexa tired to get rid of the feeling that had been there but a few months after Alexa was able to forget about it. Bimo come back, become someone Alexa know, because Alexa like him, so accepted him back, but we still don't have any relationship, even though we've known each other for 2 years, but he still hasn't give any confirmation. And finally, Alexa is tired of Bimo, and Alexa leave Bimo. That's all for me.
All right. I guess all the storytellers have shared their masterpieces. Thank you once again for sharing, for telling us a bit of your stories. So I noticed that some of you wrote stories based on your own experiences. Well, that's the best way to start writing, creative writing. So I'm so happy that you have the passion for writing. But I'm just curious, how do you develop your characters in a story? Because that is one of the most difficult technique in creative writing, is to develop the characters of our story. Now, in your case, what is your techniques? What is your strategy to help develop your characters?
All right. How I develop my characters, first of all, is I need to know the goal of the characters that I created. I need to know the motivations and the purpose why I'm creating this character in my story. And after I know the goal, I do a slow reveal, which means that I did not describe about my characters in details in chapter 1, but I do a slow reveal where I describe more and more detail about my main characters, especially from chapter to chapter. And as we know that a story is not complete if we don't have the conflict inside it. So yes, in my story, in my case, I create a conflict first, and then after that I do give each of my characters a backstory. Most of my characters, some of them a detailed backstory, and uh, the others just a general backstory about them. And then last I describe my character's personality. And again, just like the others, some of them I describe it in details because they hold very important characters, and some of them just a brief general personality describing their general personalities. So that is how I develop my characters in my stories.
Well, for me, how do I develop my characters in the story? As I told before, I mostly read Wattpad as well as novels in library that relate to my story. I'm a person who was hard to concentrate. So I need time to concentrate fully, and also I need a quiet atmosphere so I can get some idea for the story I will make. And so from the first and the second masterpiece, I spend more time imagining to get an interesting ideas. And when I have an idea, I make a character that relates to the reality, and it make more natural. And for the third, as I told before, it is my real story, so I don't need to imagine anymore. So that's it. I develop my characters in my story.
Okay, well, how I develop my character in my story, as I said earlier about when I have show you my masterpieces, I made a story based on this the true story of my life, is namely in the novella. So that's where I developed my character. I was the lead in the story. I was a main character in the story, so my character involved into that story, and also I was there to be a uh, strong person, unyielding, and also a person who easily cried, and worried. Yes, that's how I developed my character.
Okay, how to develop? I think by reading many stories, the novel helped me how to build a person's character in the story. So from reading, I can develop the characters in the story. I made this story very carefully and read it over and over again. With it, the story could develop.
To develop my characters, I try to find the goal of my characters and the uniqueness of my characters too. And I use some figurative language and the techniques like showing and telling techniques so my characters can deliver the stories to the readers well.
How I develop my character in my story. First is I have to know what is my goal for every character. Then I try to focus on every character or person for each my story. And because two of my masterpieces are based on my real life story, I try to recall my mind to that scene, and I try to remember every scene in past, and that's why I can develop my character in my story.
Okay, for me, how do you develop your character in the story? With practice and feel every word, deepen your role so that when you write or read the story, you can develop your character. And of course, I studied the character because the main character of this story was me, and I imagined the past story, which is certainly not easy. And to be remembered to write this story, I have to develop to main character in my story by adding a little sweetener to the story that makes that reader feel as if was in the story.
Okay, thank you. I think you all have your own strategies to to develop your characters. Now, I have the most important question that I would like to ask you. How does writing or creative writing help you secure a healthier and happier mind?
Okay, so I think creative writing or writing a story does help us to have peaceful and healthier mind because as we know that as a human beings we are blessed with a very complex mind, and but sometimes because we have complex mind, we store negative thoughts in our mind and random stuff, and sometimes it can stress us out. And by writing your random thoughts into your piece of paper, make it into a story, it will help you to reduce all the stress that you have in your mind, and it will make your mind more peaceful. And you can start with writing a story or writing diaries before you end your day. It will help you to release all the negativity in your mind, and it will help you to have a healthier mind too. Thank you.
Well, talking about how writing help our secure a healthier and happier mind, I'm the person who doesn't tell other people about all of my life, all of my problem, relationship, friendship, and other. So I put everything in my diary. As I told you before, I write my experience, what I feel in one day in my diary. So when I read this story, or the story of my life, I feel good, and I think my talent for writing is defense properly. And when I write a story, I feel I have given my best version of my life. And for me, especially me, it secure a healthier and happier mind. My mind. Thank you.
Okay, talking about how writing help secure a healthier and happier mind. So when I write, it means my mind works. That's where writing can secure my mind. For example, when I wrote novella, the novella I wrote was about my real life. So at the time of writing, my mind is remembering the times that have passed. It's not uncommon for me to write it down of the smile because I remember my childhood as I wrote in my novel. So it makes my mind more happy. Likewise, also when I making up a child story, my mind also tries to imagining the story I wrote. In a sense, when I write, I pour messages or ideas that are on my mind so that I become calmer than before.
I become interested in writing with that. I want to continue my writing, and even better if people like the stories I make. And it can help us not to keep everything in our minds, but we put the story in writing. Maybe the writing wills the readers, and when we write what we feel in book or anything what we want to use, it help us that is make us feel better.
For me, writing can secure my heart and mind because when I write story, I can express my feelings and emotions. And when I write, I can improve my mood and reduce stress. Reduce stress level too. For example, when I write journal or daily journal, from that journal, I can express my feeling and my emotion that I've been through, and that's why writing can help me a lot in securing my mind and heart.
Okay, how does writing help me to secure a healthier and happier mind? Actually, I really enjoy to write, and through writing, I can express my feeling and my emotion. And I want to share a bit of my experience. Honestly, when I was in elementary school, I had a mini book, and I wrote my daily journal there and or my daily life inside it every day after I go back home after school. and I wrote it in Indonesian. And as time goes by, I still wrote my daily journal until I was in college semester 1. And I tried to write my daily journal in English. And from that, I can express my feeling and emotion that I felt that time. And writing is fun actually because I'm the person that can express or tell my feelings to other people, even my parents too. Because I think what is in my life is only me who knows my own story and my problems, and that's why writing makes me to secure a healthier and happier mind.
Okay, for me, actually, I like to write, but only for myself. Because if I feel a lot of burden on my mind, I immediately express it with my writing, and also tell my close friends. But overall, I just write it in my diary. I have had a diary since I was in high school, and I know that writing could help my mental health. I start writing because at the time no one want to listen to my story, and I was quite content to find in writing.
Okay, so that was my last question. I think we've covered almost everything in the show, and you've shared how confidence helped you pursue your writing. So once again, thank you so much for taking part in the show, dear storytellers. Well, this is the end of our show. However, before I end the show, I would like you to share your closing statement to our viewers who are watching right now.
All right. Thank you. So sometimes we failed to express our sometimes we so I would like to give you a suggestions that whenever you feel like you can't people don't understand you, people won't listen to your stories, and you find it hard for you to express your own feelings, just sing it and write it down. Sing your story and write down your story and let people read them if they want. But if they didn't want to read it, then that's okay. Just keep on writing your stories because one day things will get better. Thank you.
I just want to share this. You know, everyone's personality is different. There are people who are motivated through our writing. So I want to be one of the people who can motivate someone through my writing. And my closing statement is, believe me, writing is fun if you like it. If you say it's difficult, then it will be difficult. Try to say it's easy and fun, then you will. Thank you.
Well, my closing statement to all of you in here, when we write a story, surely we will have problems, especially for those who are not confident of themselves. Maybe for people who are confident in themselves, writing will be easy for them, but that is different from those who are not sure of themselves. You must feel that writing is very difficult, especially finding ideas in stories. So to all of you in here, I have ways so that we don't have trouble finding ideas. We can make a story based on our lives. That way, the idea will appear by itself because we expansion it. Let yourself be the main character in the story that you create. Thank you.
Well, for my closing statement, don't think writing is difficult. Writing is something fun that can help us to form a different character in a story. Thank you.
I know writing is not easy, and difficult. But if you enjoy to write and express your feeling in your writing, trust me, you will like it. I have experienced it today, and our stories also can inspire others. We don't know about it.
Okay, the closing statement from me. Pretend to be making something until you actually make something. So don't stop for writing, and never say to yourself that you cannot write something, but you should say to yourself, I can do it, and I can do it. Thank you.
And my closing statement, write with bad writing, because good writing is just a bonus of habit. Writing teaches you that what you say you can forget. However, what you write will always be there. And no need to hesitate to write whatever you want, because every writer has its own audience. Thank you.
All right, I think we have summed up our show. Once again, thank you for your time and efforts to be here with us. So thank you for igniting the spirit of writing. You have inspired us that to build our confidence to pursue writing is to just write and to just try and experiment our writing skills. Well, this is the end of our show. Once again, thank you everyone. For all the viewers, thank you for watching the show. And we'll see you for another season of Word Miles. Goodbye, stay healthy, and may God bless each one of you. Thank you.